Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Fly High Fridays,
where them girls be squawking.
Girl, give it to me.
Well. Another busy week.
Look, it flew by for me. Whew. Went by so fast. This was Friday before I knew it. It was Monday, then Friday.
Yeah. It was very productive.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely very productive. I had a client, and then I watched the game, the first playoff. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking Super Bowl already.
Girl, had everybody confused. I'm like, Super Bowl is Sunday?
I'm thinking Super Bowl
already.
It's
early.
No, first playoff game. Okay, watch that, and then gotta keep my cousin in prayer. Mm-hmm. He was in a bad car accident.
It's just been
life is just happening.
Yeah.
Hey, it at least I've picked up like I noticed a small little cough lately. We just praying for healing. We just praying for healing of that.
Yeah.
Because, with the COVID around, I get nervous about any of that.
You ain't speaking that fear.
But I just get a little nervous, It's like, is that fear?
Yes. A little bit.
But yeah, I've just been, I've been bored. I've been busy and bored, right? Because the type of person that I am, I'm like a 1, 2, 3 type of person. I always say that. And what that means is I always have one thing after another to do, right? So when I'm sitting there not doing anything, right, I feel bored sometimes. And when I work, I guess I feel that way. And so I've been having to fill my mind. And of course, I self-develop every week. That's why, I love to come on here and just share my week and share what
you learned,
what I've learned for the week, and what I've been studying. Because majority of the time, what I'm studying is kind of like what I'm going through and what I'm trying to maybe just get a better understanding of.
Mm-hmm.
And just what I resonate with at the same time too, right? But yeah, a lot of studying this week because I've actually been like kind of bored this week. Freaking went to the doctor. Lady ended up stabbing me 3 times.
Oh no.
And like I was close to passing out. So yeah, crazy, right? Yeah.
Just a bit.
Your week. Enough of me.
Girl, you got a lot going on. But no, like I said it before, it went by, it flew by. It was just another week of just being more aware of myself and understanding myself yet again, especially working at this job and noticing the different things I'm doing and when I start to self-sabotage. And now it's time to start disciplining just a bit, especially if I'm looking forward towards that change. So definitely it's like a lot of fast learning this week is what it feels like, and then getting comfortable in the uncomfortable. So other than fast, good week.
Gotcha.
I didn't really do much else than that, and then learning new stuff and working on soaps and whatnot. It's just kind of been, I think it's been an eventful week for me, and just getting to know myself, and yeah.
I feel you. But, let's talk about it. And what I've personally been working on is discipline, right? I want to talk about self-discipline. And I got this from Instagram. It was just a post that I came about, and I resonated with it and just kind of took notes from it.
Yeah.
Put it in my own words. And so, self-discipline. We must begin self-discipline, right? If you haven't started, you must begin. Today is the day. If you're here watching this, that means today is the day for self-discipline for you, right?
Yeah, for us. For us. We need it.
And what I came to resonate with is if we can master these 14 emotions, 7 being positive and 7 being negative. If we can kind of master these emotions when we feel them, right? And understand what we want, right? And how we want to feel about these emotions. And what we want to see when we feel these emotions, right? Where we want to be when we feel these emotions. Now, the first 7 positive emotions, 1 is love, 2 is sex, 3 is hope, 4 is faith, 5 is enthusiasm, 6 is loyalty, and 7 is desire. Now, if you just go back, if I said it too fast, just go back, right? And now pause on each one of those, right? And when I say that word, what is the emotion that you feel, when you hear that word?
Yeah.
Right? And put yourself there, take yourself out of reality and go into the present moment, into that word, and really feel, that positive emotion.
Yeah.
And because all of these emotions feel good, if you agree. Now,
I do
if
agree.
you agree with me.
I was gonna ask though, what if you didn't have a positive emotion towards a word?
Correct. Now, these are my resonated positive words that I wrote down from myself.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. If it doesn't resonate with you, I'm not talking to you. You just pick those ones that
work for
resonate
you.
with you.
I feel like the ones that don't work, it just shows that you may need healing in that spot, because these are, yes, really dope words to really sit there and really feel that emotion or how you feel towards that word. It just helps you be more aware of yourself. So yeah, I like it. I like this. Okay, continue, sis.
And the 7 negative emotions. 1, fear. 2, jealousy. 3, hatred. 4, revenge. 5, being greed. 6, being anger. 7, superstitious. So I like superstitious, right? Because it's a different type of word. And when I seen that, I'm like, interesting, right? When we think superstitious, of course we think, well, for me, of course I think a little bit fearful, because when you hear those little superstition types of deals, right, you get a little worried.
Yeah.
You get a little butterfly in your stomach, right?
Yeah.
But you shouldn't though. So that would be a negative emotion. All them other words is pretty much self-explanatory, right? a big one for me, I've said this many a times, is fear. I worry a lot, right? I used to. I don't anymore. I no longer worry, but that was definitely a negative emotion that I had, and it's attached to fear, right? And I feel like fear is attached to that superstition, you know, because you're thinking, oh my God, don't step on that crack, you'll break your mama's back.
Yeah, and it's also a program, because that's something you've learned from other people telling you that, and so now you start believing it, and
Right.
it puts more fear behind that.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Another one was greed. Like, when I thought of greed, I'm like, at first I was like, how, right? I had to kind of ask myself, I'm like, greed, a negative emotion. I get a little greedy, you know? I didn't feel like that was a negative emotion, right? But I did put it down as a negative emotion and agreed with that, actually, because you don't want to feel entitled. I feel like greed, to me, I attached it to entitlement.
Yeah.
Gimme, you know? You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be gimmying really anything.
Yeah.
If it's not coming to you, it must not be aligned. You know?
It's not before you. At least maybe not at this moment.
Right.
It's, yeah.
And, you know, I just feel like we don't want to go feeling entitled to anything. I feel like that's where I kind of got, oh, okay, that would be a negative emotion, in a sense.
Are we sitting with these emotions?
I mean,
what are we doing?
You want to master these emotions in order to self-discipline. These are like some steps, just a step basically that you can start to basically try to master, start to maybe master these emotions specifically.
Yeah.
Let's be intentional. Let's actually have some actual emotions to try to, you know, feel and attach ourselves to. And it's an exercise. I just feel like it's an exercise we should try.
Okay.
In which I did, you know what I'm saying? All I did was basically sat with myself. And when I said these words aloud, I felt the emotion, and I put a picture with it. I felt like, okay, what is my biggest, right? What is my top number one vivid picture that comes to mind of my past, right? That's brought me to this moment right now.
Right.
That I could think of, that comes to mind. And it was some crazy, you know, some vivid pictures that really came to mind when I sat with myself and said these words aloud.
Yeah. You
know, and really tried to, you know, and differentiate if these were really a positive emotion or a negative emotion.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely have to try that.
And it was
see what comes up.
Yeah.
Then write it out. Okay. What's next after we've sat with ourselves and felt through these emotions?
Yes.
Then what?
And we try to master them, or we will, right? We will master them. And you don't have to start with 14. That might be a lot. Let's start with, you know, one positive, one negative emotion. You know, let's not let's not go over the board. But next to what I wrote down was, all these emotions are states of mind, subject to control and direct. In these 14 emotions is the mental dynamite that may lift us to great heights of achievement, and or reduce us to the lowest depths of failure. And no amount of education, experience, intelligence, or good intentions can alter or modify this possibility. And so with these emotions, it's basically saying that you're again being intentional. You have a subject to control and direct. Right. And so just as we have everything we need to be successful, we also have everything we need to self-destruct. And so our minds act on whatever we feed it, good or bad. So that's why it's good to practice the negative emotions also, because you can correct them much easier, because you sit there and you with yourself and you felt that negative emotion time and time again. And so, once you get there, you're like, oh no, I don't, right back out. Like, whoa, we know that emotion, right? And so if we basically condition our negative emotions, not saying on a day-to-day basis, but during meditation.
What about counteract, or is that the word I want to say? Like counteract that emotion. Because I felt like that's what I was doing this week, right? I was sitting to myself feeling annoyed or irritated, and I was aware of it, right? And I wasn't trying to take it out on nobody, but I was just like, well, what is it? Let's sit in it and understand why I'm even upset. Because it's not the other person, but what can it be? So I guess what I did was I came up with different positive affirmations to counteract those negatives. And then the more I did it, the more relaxed I became at what I was doing in that moment, in that situation.
That's actually a good suggestion on how to get out of that emotion quickly. But what I'm saying is right there when you said I was in that negative emotion. What is that negative emotion? Is it fear? Is it jealousy? Is it hatred? We need to
pinpoint the negative emotion. Okay. So that I didn't know. That I didn't do.
So that way we can control
irritated.
And direct.
Anger. There it is.
Right?
I had to find it. There it is. Because I was just like, did she say anger? It is. She did say anger. But yes, anger was it. I'm like, but now I can go back. Okay, sis. Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
And so that's what I'm just trying to clarify what I'm saying. Is when you said that you were sitting there in that emotion, I was saying pinpoint the emotion. That's what I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
Just pinpoint the emotion, feel it, right? We feel it, but then you suggested a good suggestion on how to go ahead and get out of that negative emotion immediately, right? So that was a good suggestion on that. But what I'm speaking on is being aware of what that emotion actually is,
and not just going with because
we want to start to understand it.
Exactly, and you're right. It's a deeper understanding,
right?
Because I was just trying to I guess play it nice, so I would just say I'm irritated or I'm annoyed instead of just using what it is. You're angry. What are you angry about? Let's sit in it. Understand it. I've been taught to shy away from anger, so that's why I was just like, I don't even know what it was. I was just saying I was irritated, but then pinpoint that emotion. Actually sit down and understand that emotion, because at first when you even started saying 14, I'm like, wait a minute, 14. I start. Bitch, I gotta think about it. That's 14 different. Okay.
Yes.
But once you start to break down, I'm like, okay, yes, I see it. We're here. Okay.
Yep.
Broaden my thoughts, please.
Yes.
Deeper understanding. I needed that, and I was getting that this week, and now it's just like now I understand, and I can go back and. Ooh. I'm nervous about it, but excited. I'm not nervous. I got it. What else you got, Listen?
That was it.
Oh.
That's it for me. Yeah, that little bit right there is just tapping into those emotions and feeling them, understanding them. And when you're in that negative emotion, getting out of it immediately. Once we feel that and we know that we don't fool with that, you know what I'm saying? You gotta go ahead and be real with yourself. I don't do that. I don't touch that emotion right there, right?
Yeah.
Because we love ourselves that much, you know. So, because we want to reach, my bad, let me say that again. Because we want to go to the greatest heights of achievement.
Yeah.
Right? We want to go to the greatest heights of achievement. Or do we want to be reduced, or do we want to reduce us to reduce our level, to the lowest depths of failure? Mm-hmm. Reduce us to the lowest depths of failure. Controlling those emotions, feeling them, knowing what they are, being aware of them, is the most powerful thing. It's no, they were just saying no education, no experience, no intelligence, you know what I'm saying, no good intentions will alter or modify this possibility.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you can do that, you a bad motherfucker.
Okay. Something to go in practicing.
But you could change the words. These are just words that I, you know what I'm saying, resonated with.
Right.
And that I used. And like I say, you can shorten the list. Maybe don't go with so many. Don't tap into so many. This is just where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I was able to tap. You know what? And literally had vivid pictures of when I said it aloud, what I was feeling, how I was feeling, and the vivid picture of my past that was brought right to my conscious, right to my vision. But we gotta start replacing that immediately with positive emotions, right? And just learning how to stay on those, and learning to feel those and understand those and stay in those. I think that's the hardest thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But one thing I'm learning is take your own advice. Right? Take your own advice. You got the best advice for you. Mm-hmm. Because nobody know you better than you. We be giving people too much power, man. But real talk though, nobody knows you better than you.
That part.
And when you really start sitting with yourself and understanding your feelings and start to be able to control your emotions, right? I'm telling you, you're gonna be
okay, sis.
I'm telling you. So I hope that you'll go into this week making the choice to pick a few positive emotions that you want to sit in yourself with, right? And a few negative emotions, right? So we can make sure that we're familiar, right? So we know when to jump back, like, okay, yeah, this ain't right. Check yourself.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to dive into self-disciplining myself, right? Mm-hmm. If you didn't know, I am a trader, and I just joined a new group, and I'm super excited about it, and I'm just super excited about where I'm gonna be in the next 6 months, just because I'm learning to be a little bit more self-disciplined. Yeah. Right? I had to really sit down with myself and tell myself the truth. Like, girl, you saying
right,
but
like
you ain't doing.
You know what you doing.
Right.
You see what you're doing, so you gotta sit down and be honest with your take a long look.
We must all. We must all discipline. I'm trying to tap in. I just want to be able to come back to this video and tell myself, you said it.
That part.
You said you was going to do it. And you did it.
That promise to yourself.
You know what I'm saying? When you know you deserve certain things, you move different. You know what I'm saying? You start looking like and acting like you got it already. Right? Because you feel it. You start to master the feeling of it. And all of a sudden, it's just subconsciously, you look nice today. What's going on? What you doing? You look like somebody's CEO. Like, I'm like,
just been basking in my positive emotions and making sure I've been taken care of.
You will naturally start to look like your future.
Your higher self.
Right where you are. Right now. Today, remember? But always remember to be
you,
resilient,
and driven.
And remain loving. Remember to love, be guided by love, and show gratitude every single day. It's very, very important. And don't forget to follow our personals, you know. And hey, if you're still watching, I just want to say thank you so much.
And we appreciate
and to the
still
gang
being here.
You know I love you.
Squawking.
Gang. But until next Friday, I hope y'all have a awesome week.
Stay safe, stay warm. It's cold in Texas
Man, it's
now.
getting cold.
I'm freezing.